Hey guys, it's Falene from Six Blue Warriors. So today I wanted to share the way that I explain about autism to children that ask questions, either my own children or to their friends or their cousins or other kids that want to know more. What I usually try to think about is some things that particular child does really well, something that they really excel at. For example, with my son Gavin, he is really good at memorizing information about things that he's interested in. If you want to ask him anything about the crash of the Hindenburg or about the Titanic or about origami or whatever it is he happens to be interested in at the time, he knows the history, he knows, he reads books about it, he just absorbs this information. So that is super easy for him. And so what I usually try and start out by saying is, Gavin, it's really easy for you to be able to learn lots of information about the things that you like. Well, sometimes it's hard for other kids to be able to learn that much information about stuff like that. There are some things that you do really, really well and that are easy for you, but then other things are really, really hard for you. For example, learning how to stay focused while you're doing your schoolwork. Some kids don't have any problem being able to just sit down and do their schoolwork and be focused and not get distracted. But that's something that's really, really hard for you. Whereas those other kids, maybe they can't learn information as fast as you can about those kinds of things. But they have a really easy time staying focused. So what autism means is that there are some things that you can do really, really well that other kids don't learn as quickly as you. But there are things that you have a much harder time with that most other kids don't. It's just different. So there are certain things that you are going to have to work really hard on how to learn, but there's other things that are going to come easily to you. And it's the same thing with other kids. But a lot of the things that are hard for you aren't hard for most other kids, because the things that are hard for you are understanding how not to hurt people's feelings or how to make friends or things like that. But you are super smart and you learn things really quickly. So that's kind of the way I've talked to my son Gavin and explained to him what autism is to him. And as he gets older, obviously I can get into a more detailed explanation about, these are the symptoms, these are things that you may struggle with and that, but it really is essentially still the same. Basically, explaining autism to kids is letting them know that there's certain things that we all learn naturally, but kids with autism learn different things on their own than most typically developing kids. So, if I was being asked this question by a typically developing child, I might approach it from, how you have a really easy time making friends and talking to new people? Well, that's something that you're really good at, but that's something that's really hard for this child with autism. They don't understand how to do that very well. It's really hard for them, but they know how to do math really, really well. And I know that math can sometimes be a little bit harder for you. So that's just the way I try to approach it, is to look for something positive in both children, in the child who's asking and the child that you're talking about. Or like I was explaining earlier, that's the way I have explained things to my son Gavin, just in relationship to him and helping him to understand why math is super easy for him, but some of his classmates may struggle with it. Whereas he has a really hard time getting people to come and play games with him on the playground, and all the other kids just kind of go along without that unspoken body language kind of thing. So anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to leave a like or to subscribe. And as always, please feel free to share these videos with anyone that you feel could benefit from them. I hope you guys are having a great night, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.